Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it's been a minute. I do strongly apologize about that, okay? I really do. I know it's probably like, okay, she made a couple of videos, now she done disappeared. I'm here to learn on how to make money, save money, so on and so forth. As long as we was talking money, I was here. However, now the hostess is not here. What's going on? I do apologize about that. I most definitely appreciate you guys for still rocking with me. Continue to tell a friend and tell a friend so we can continue to grow this, community, this channel where we go about educating each other on all things money. Guys, I was working on a video for you pertaining to Credit Karma. However, I had to scrap that because I started expanding my knowledge on terminology, and it just goes back to, if we don't even know definitions, terms and definitions, none of this is going to matter. If you don't have strong financial literacy, learning anything money is not really going to work to your full advantage, if you will, because you're lacking some information there. People can still go about pulling wool over your eyes. So that we can prevent that, it's important that we go about learning different terms, what they mean, the definitions, how to properly use these terms, things of that nature. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. I've been learning more about consumer law, business law, contract law, just really breaking down terms and what they mean, the value of words. The tongue is a sword. When you breaking down words, you really just see how sharp that tongue is. Okay, and it's like when you're increasing and building your vocabulary, you're just sharpening that sword. It's working more in your favor, helping you be able to explore different avenues that you might have never would have once thought was possible. So it starts with knowledge, okay, guys? And that's what I've been doing. I've been working on expanding my knowledge, and now I'm here to share it with you. So what we're going to do is just take it to the basics, right? Entry level. Again, if we're not understanding simple terms and definitions, nothing else is going to matter, okay? So let's talk about credit. For those who have not established credit, any form of credit yet, I highly encourage you go about doing so right now. Even if you need to pause this video, come back to the video, whatever, just know establishing credit is important enough that what I'm saying, please stop doing what you're doing now and go about establishing that credit, okay? For those that already went about establishing credit, great, kudos to you. Don't stop there. Continue to work on improving your credit scores, okay? Continue to assure that your consumer report looks good, is good and healthy. As this is kind of like your background, if you will, when it comes to if you're a risk. Can a company, a lender, whoever, can they trust you when it comes to credit? This just serves as kind of like a background check, if you will. So you do want to assure that you have a healthy credit life, which your consumer report is going to help back that information up. So you just want to assure, for those who have not established credit, please go about doing so. I've touched on the Self app, which I think is a good resource you can utilize to go about establishing credit. You can go about applying for a store credit card, whether that be like, Belk or Burlington, places like that. You can go about applying for loans. Those aren't always the best options, if you will, just due to the high interest rates. But nonetheless, this is something that can help establish your credit and help, improve your credit as well. If you're, thinking long term, it's not just a short, a temporary thing. Let me just get some quick funds in my pocket and my bank account. It can really actually work towards your favor pertaining to your credit. I say all that to say there's different ways to go about establishing credit and working on your credit. So please continue to work on that. Continue to grow when it comes to your credit. It's very important. So today's topic is just breaking down the terminology. What credit even means. What's it for? Things of that nature, okay? So I do want to go over the everyday definition that we're pretty much all familiar with. This might not be your exact definition, but I bet it coincides very closely to what you've been taught or how you go about utilizing this term. So the everyday definition of credit goes a little something like this. The ability of a customer to obtain goods and services before payment based on the trust that a payment will be made in the future, okay? kind of going back to that store credit card. You might not have any money in your checkings account, right? However, those babies need school shoes. You apply for that store credit card. They give you a credit limit of $700. You can go about utilizing that $700 credit to get those kids their school shoes or whatever that they may be needing, or things that you need and want. Really, it's just a matter of making sure that you go about paying money for that credit, right? So that's the everyday definition. Again, it goes something like this: the ability of a customer to obtain goods and services before payment based on the trust that a payment will be made in the future, okay? So even though it's good to have that clear understanding, especially when you're talking credit, you do want to sound like you know what you're talking about. And that's when we go about putting things into our own words. When we do that, we're showing whoever we're talking to, those individuals, okay, I know what I'm talking about. Let me give it to you in my language, so to speak, right? However, there is a legal definition, and I think it's just as important to know this legal definition as well as how you're able to break the term down so that you can better understand it, and when you're explaining it to other people how they can better understand it, but you still want to retain this definition as well. And I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. So the legal definition of credit is the right granted by a creditor to an applicant to defer payment of debt, incur debt, and defer its payment, or purchase property or services and defer payment therefor. Let me run that back for you. Let me run it back. So the right granted by a creditor to an applicant to defer payment of debt, incur debt, and defer its payment, or purchase property and services and defer payment therefor. When you break down what does it even mean to incur debt, that simply just means to take on that responsibility, that liability that you will be responsible for, paying off that debt pertaining to credit, if you will. I just think that when we're trying to search and explore different ways to obtain financial freedom, you need to know what terms mean, so that when you're talking that talk to that lender, you can have that walk to match up with that talk, okay? Because anybody can talk. Everybody can say what they know or what they think they know. But then when we start talking legally what things mean, oh, that's a whole new thing right there. Like, you really I don't want to say open up a can of worms, because it's not going to be a can of worms for you. It's going to be for that lender, because you're going to be in there, talking that talk and walking that walk to get what you need and what you want, okay? So again, I just wanted to talk about the importance of knowing what words mean. Again, if we don't know what simple words mean, and let me rephrase that, because I don't want anyone to get offended by saying that these terms are simple, especially if you never heard of certain things or ever learned more about it. How can I say it? If we just, we don't know what different words mean, their definitions, to our full advantage, it's not going to get us nowhere. We're just going to be stuck at entry level, which most of us are. All we know is, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to slave away, I'm paying on this, I gotta pay that, I gotta catch up on this, same old song. However, whenever you can really utilize the power of words, because the tongue is a sword, and when you're expanding your knowledge, the only thing you're doing is sharpening that sword. The more information you learn, the more you learn about different terms and their definitions, and be able to strongly utilize these terms with confidence, the only thing you're doing is strengthening that and sharpening that sword. That's it. So once you're able to do that, you'll really be able to explore financial freedom. You'll really get that key to do the things that you want to do. You're opening your own doors, Okay, so I just wanted to touch on the importance of knowing terms. I will most definitely be making more financial literacy videos. I said that before, but now that I'm learning more, and I would love to share that information with each and every one of you, you'll most definitely be getting more videos from me across the board. As you can see, I also have a new camera, which I'm very excited about that as well. As you will be seeing more of my face. I will still be doing screen shares of applications, different apps and websites, showing you step-by-step instructions on how to go about making money and saving money. But you'll most definitely start receiving more videos with my face, you know, matching that voice with that face going forward. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Please continue to tell a friend to tell a friend, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, please remain on your grind.